Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
All right, there's a lot to do in the oil and gas business. Let Mission Service Company help you with your weed control on all of your oil and gas property. I'm talking about the pad sites, the stack yards, wherever your office, wherever it may be. They have the experience and the equipment to do it the right way, and their work is guaranteed. And it's easy to find what to kill because it's green.
Yeah.
And Tanner, this is my son Tanner's company, and they do a fantastic job, and they'll get your needs handled properly wherever it may be. You can count on Mission. But they'll make it happen. They're West Texas born. They're Red Raiders, and they would love to help you. Call Tyler at 806-632-6325, 806-632-6325, and ask for the Thetford and Ashby discount. And there actually is one, so that would be awesome. So give them a call. They would love to come out and help you. And that's not just in the Permian Basin. That's all over. They'll go. I asked Tanner. He said, "We'll go anywhere. We'll come up to Level Land, wherever we need to go. We'll get it done for them and get it all fixed up." All right. I think Curt Langford's on the phone.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Good,
hey,
man.
Curt.
I saw you on Facebook and some other places, and you had a heck of a night last night at the Texas Tech night at the Rangers game. That had to be fun.
Yeah, we're recovering this morning. But before we get on that, David, I got to tell you, I got to brag on your son in Mission. For 3 straight years, I've had him come out and clear out all my pampas grass in the backyard. I used to try to do that myself, and that was a nightmare. And it's a lot easier to call him and have him come out and do it. He did a great job.
Well, good. I appreciate that, Curt. And Tanner will too.
Good job.
I appreciate you saying that.
Man, we had an outstanding night tonight. This is our 3rd year
to
host Tech Night at the Rangers, and we've got a really good contact with the ball club here that's taking care of us. And last year we were kind of oversold, and they moved us to a different area of the ballpark here at Globe Field, and we thought we'd be okay in this bigger area, and we oversold that one. So the Red Raiders are coming out loud and proud.
Well, of course, you go down to the Metroplex. That's Red Raider country.
Yep.
You wouldn't know that. We have so many alums in that area.
Yeah.
And Curt,
they're proud. They're proud. And I love, what I loved about last night, guys, is just all of the ages. We had a lot of the older folks.
Yeah.
People that I met a guy that said he went to Tech, graduated in 1972, and visited with him, and he was there with his wife.
That's a young guy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And but all of the young families, seeing all these folks bringing their kiddos and future Red Raiders, so it was the whole gambit. And we had, we're told we had over 3,200. We're around 3,200 tickets sold, which, according to our contact here at Globe, they said that's the largest alumni night they've ever had. That broke a record in the history of their community night program that they call it. It was a college-themed night. So we're really, really proud of that. But that's a testament to the pride of our tribe.
And there's no telling how many of them bought their own tickets and were sitting in there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Others, they already had tickets and they were there.
Yeah, and I understand that Coach McCaslin and Emily gave them a little pep talk before the game.
Yes. Yeah, we had a pre-game rally that we had limited space for. Initially, we planned for 250. We expanded it to 350 and finally 400, and they wouldn't let us do any more. We didn't invite the fire marshal there, but Emily, I introduced her, and she got to speak to the group. Emily Jones, Emily McCoy, as you know, the pride of Plainview.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really good. She was able to kind of tell her story about growing up and going to Tech and working out there at KCBD with Karen and Abner and being a sportscaster for a long time. But it's funny, you got a lot of the young alumni out here that don't really know her story. They just know her time with the Rangers. She had her World Series ring.
Oh,
so
cool.
There was people lined up to get their picture with her. That was pretty special. And then we turned it over to Grant, and Coach is just so good with our alumni, and very, very popular, as you might imagine, with everything he's doing. But I got to introduce him and just talked about what a man of character he is, and how fortunate we are to have him. And where he may not be the tallest guy courtside, he stands very, very tall in my book. And he had a lot of funny things to say to the group, and they enjoyed him very much. And then, of course, he went out and threw the first pitch, and he talked a little bit about, you come to something like this. He's a little, I don't know, he probably wasn't worried about it, but throwing that first pitch, he said, a lot of people tell you what not to do. He said, well, you don't tell people what not to do. You tell them what to do. And I was told to throw a strike. So that's what I went down there and did.
Yeah.
And of course, Josh Young was catcher for him.
Yeah,
and,
that's so cool.
He threw it in there. It was a little bit of a lob, but it got in there. It would have been a high strike if it was.
I thought he had a better arm than that, really. I don't think he was bearing down like he really should have.
He just wanted to get it to the plate.
You have to be pretty bold to go out there and really try to throw a ball.
I know it. It could get embarrassing in a hurry for you.
Yep.
I saw the video of that, and I thought it was great. I just, you said something about our tribe, what'd you say? That was a good
pride of our tribe.
The pride of our tribe.
Yeah.
That all comes back to our just our image, our university image, our brand, and our brand, Curt, is so strong. I thought we've always loved Tech, but the brand that we have today is just phenomenal. It really is.
Well, we're working to polish it and to build it and to strengthen it. But David, our brand is our people. In my feeling,
I agree.
And our people representing our, I love what President Skubinik often says about our ethos, our ethic, and just our people in general. And it's cultural, and it rubs off on other people, and it's impressive. And when you're able to get everybody together for a fun event like this, it just really shines. And somebody told me, I didn't realize it, but there was 30-some-odd thousand at the game overall. It wasn't a complete sellout. But somebody said that, roughly 10% of the crowd was Red Raiders.
That's awesome.
Like, holy cow, that's pretty impressive. So
it
was a fun night, our third night, and it was the first night that Josh actually got to play on Tech night. The first one he was injured. Last year, the president and I, we presented him with his ring during first pitch. The president had the first pitch, and we presented Josh with his Tech ring. You may recall, he'd gotten this World Series ring, which a lot of people are pretty enamored with, but he told me the story. It was kind of funny. He came into my office, it was over a year ago now, and Jace, his little brother, actually got the Texas Tech ring and participated in the ring ceremony. And they were, in San Antonio at home during their holiday dinner, and Josh had won the World Series, and here's a little brother Jace, and they're, all eyes are on Josh. But Jace made a comment, and he's wearing his Tech ring, and Josh was talking about the World Series ring, and everybody was gawking at that. And Jace said, well, I got my Tech ring. Not everybody can get a Tech ring, and that bothered Josh because he didn't get his Tech ring. So he came to my office, and he said, what do I got to do to get a Tech ring? So we worked with him on that. And, of course, he couldn't participate in the ring ceremony in the spring because, he's already out of school and playing in the bigs. But we got to thinking, well, maybe we can present your ring at Tech Night. So we did that last year, and he was proud. He said that next year at the holidays, he'll hold up his Tech ring, and he told Jace, he said, all right, you don't have that on me anymore. So that little brotherly rivalry is going on.
I know. Funny. That's so funny. They played against each other, and Josh hits a home run.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. That's
and on Mother's Day. How about that? On Mother's Day, they're playing Detroit.
Exactly.
That was just amazing. Hey, and last night, obviously we love Josh.
Yep.
But Stubby Clapp was out there.
Yeah. Scott Kelm wanted you to mention him.
Yep.
How cool was that? So I got to visit with him, and I'd never met him before, but visited with him, and I said, hey, this is appropriate. It's Tech Night, so this is about you too. And at least you're wearing red, so he liked that. Yeah. And I asked him if he's still doing the backflips, and he said, no, I can't do that anymore.
Everybody remembers that about Stubby Clapp.
Curt, one of the things that you have done since you've taken over is you've continued a lot of the membership things that you get when you become a member of alums, but you've also grown that. And Tech Night is just one of many things that you enjoy as a member of the Alumni Association.
Well, members and non-members too, right? I mean, it's about we're trying to grow our engagement and connection. I read John Maxwell's book. Everybody communicates, but few connect. And we do a lot of outbound communication, but our real goal is to connect. That's really about the mission of the association, and what we're trying to do on behalf of the university is just build that community, build our the pride in our community and our people, and obviously our institution and the whole story. And a lot of that's through the events, and a lot of these things circle around athletic stuff. But like our Tech Day in Ruidosa has just been a wonderful event that we've been pulling anywhere from 300 to almost 500 people to that event every year. We'll be doing it again here June 28th, and Flatland Calvary is going to be in concert there. Bunch of Tech grads playing in that band. That'll be popular. But whether you're a member or not, you're obviously you're one of us. We just encourage people to kind of invest back into their university, whether it's to their college or to the association or to the Matador Club or to the Red Raider Club or any and all of these. There's so many ways to get plugged in and invest in alma mater. To help our bottom line.
One of the things that I saw was pretty neat is a lot of these local chapters, or some of them are, pretty numerous, and some of them are small groups. But like the Permian Basin group, they raised money and gave away 3 scholarships. How cool is that? I mean, or 4.
They did 4 last night.
Yeah,
it was Tech Night at the Rock Hound last night.
How about that?
Very proud of our alumni chapters. We're at 107. We've got about 4 or 5 more percolating in a post-COVID environment. They've kind of come out of dormancy, and we're growing. But I appreciate you bringing that up, because the chapters are really the essence of what we've been about for decades. And, of course, Jim Douglas, he started that a long time ago, and we're riding on the coattails of that. But whether it's in a large urban area or in a smaller rural area, to see Red Raiders getting together and raise funds, whether it's, through a lot of these golf tournaments that are very, very successful. But I think about Gary Kemp in Winters, Texas. He's and the folks with our Winters chapters. They have Jody Nix and the Texas Cowboys come out every year for a scholarship dinner and dance. And they raise money and they reinvest in next generation Red Raiders. So these rural areas whether it's XIT or Dumas or
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, in Nashville, saw Tom Law got the national.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
They had a watch party for the World Series.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we're coast to coast and even growing chapters internationally. I mean, so we picked up somebody that wants to get one started in Barcelona and some other countries in London, and so that's the extended tribe, right? And that's the alumni network. But a lot of these cases in Texas, especially in the rural areas, a lot of these, I've been driving around the state quite a bit, obviously, and I call it the flyover communities. But getting in touch with our alumni in these rural areas that are helping to, raise funds for students to come to Tech, it just continues that second, third, fourth generation tradition. But it's also exciting for those that, are the first in their family to go to Tech, or first generation to even go to college. So we see a lot of those stories as well. And so it's fun. It's the sweet spot of what we do and what we're about.
It really is. And when you're taking the job of filling the shoes of a guy like Bill Dean, there's not many people that can even attempt it, Curt, but you're one of those guys, and you've done a fantastic job. I'm telling you.
Thank you, David. You're kind to say that. Bill's a mentor. He's Mr. Texas Tech. A lot of people, I remember when all this was happening, it made me feel like, who wants to, it's kind of like, following Tom Landry, back in the day with the Cowboys. But somebody had to do it. And obviously he laid such a great foundation, and it's been great to be able to build upon it and to have his support even in that process. But it's our team, David. It's the team that's in place, and new energy, new enthusiasm, taking things to the next level, modernizing and elevating the association, capitalizing on the strengths of the past, but making the best of our opportunities going forward. And it's just been a joy to be at the helm. I've enjoyed it.
It really is so fun. And, if you were to tell people right now, Curt, there's lots of Red Raider alums out there that listen to the show. I think there are. I pretend there are. But what would you tell them? There's probably a lot that aren't members.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to have them all be a part?
Well, yeah. I mean, we'd encourage everybody to be involved. And there might be some people that aren't currently active or they were active in the past. I think that's one of the goals. When I sign every single thank you receipt that comes across my desk, one of the things I'm most impressed with, David, is we've got a thing at the bottom of each of our letters that lists how many years they've been a member.
Yeah.
And I signed one, Saturday? I think it was Tuesday. I was in the office Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was signing them. And I signed one to a lady that's been a member for 68 years. I think the record that I've seen was 74.
How cool is that?
Chuck Hutchison, you might remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Passed on. Chuck Hutchison was a member for 74 or 75 years. And I did the math on that, and that tells me that he became a member even before he graduated.
Yeah. Well, if you knew Chuck, that doesn't surprise you.
He's committed.
No, probably not. Such a great guy, and endowed so many scholarships and helped invest in next. But yeah, to that point, if you look at a 3-year window of people that have been involved or a member of the Alumni Association, we're pushing around 60,000 members. Right now, we're about 30,000. To give you a visual, right now, active, we can fill half of Jones Stadium or the arena twice.
That's so amazing.
But if you pull the lens back and look over a 3-year period, if everybody renewed every year, would be pushing 60,000. And, of course, there's about 250,000 total alumni out there. So that gives you a little perspective. But we want people to be involved. They can go to the website, texastechalumni.org, or the easier thing is just to download our app. Whether you're a member or not, download the app. That's a way in which to be connected with your alma mater. A lot of different ways. It has all of our chapters listed on there, all of our events, ways to get plugged in, all of our chapter presidents. And a neat thing on that app that I'm really proud of, in fact, when the softball team won the other night, you can download, there's a victory bell tile there.
All right.
And you can actually click on that thing when Tech wins.
We got to go, Curt.
Somewhere. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, you did a great job. Thank you for being on. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Y'all take care.
All right, buddy. See you later.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Well, and it's time to play golf. I was doing Golf USA, and then I get cut off, but it's my fault.
And I'm not saying, but I'm just saying Father's Day is right around the corner.
It is, yeah. It is. And that would be a great place to go shop for Father's Day. 67th in Indiana, Golf USA. They got a repair shop, hitting area. They can fit you for clubs, all that kind of stuff. McGavick Nissan and Infinity of Lubbock. And if you don't believe me, just when you drive around Lubbock, just check out the back of cars and see where they're from. You will be amazed at how many Nissan and Infiniti cars you see in Lubbock, Texas. And that's because people love doing business with Brent McGavick, Steve McGavick, Braden Rose. I mean, just walk in the dealership there at 66 and Milwaukee, and you'll go, God, this place feels great.
And some great used cars also.
Yeah, and a full lineup. They got, and always great deals going on. Go to McGavick Nissan and Infinity of Lubbock. Infinity's on Spur 327 in Milwaukee, then right around the corner there on Milwaukee 66th. Right across from Fuddruckers, by the way, is McGavick Nissan, and they will help you. I got a new McGavick Nissan Pathfinder, and I love it.
Good-looking car.
Yeah, I love it.
Or SUV, whatever they're called now.
It really is.
It's really nice.
I don't know how to work everything on it, but it's really nice. I didn't know how to put my car in neutral. And when you go to the car wash, that's a problem.
Yeah. It is a big problem. Sir.
I know it. I finally figured it out. That's good. All right, we're proud to have Matt Dowdy on with us. I believe Matt's up next. And, Matt, we're glad you're here.
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Good. How you doing? You having fun?
It's been a fun trip so far. Looking forward to another game today.
I know it.
Matt, did you give Nye some pitching lessons last night for today?
think I should be the last person she comes to.
Yeah, she's going to Matt Dowdy first.
Yeah, that's right.
Pitching lessons.
That's
We're
right.
in trouble. You mentioned Kennedy. She is up for the Honda Sport Award for the softball, the biggest and the best award that you could get. She's a finalist for that, and they give them in each sport. And I'll be amazed if she doesn't win it. She's one of the top 3 for the national honor. She is just so fun to watch. Do you kind of have a confidence, Matt, when you're sitting at the game because you have Kennedy out there in the circle?
It's funny. I was sitting by Ty Parker, who oversees our social media, the other night there, and when we went up 1-0, we both made the comment. We're like, "Hey, that's how we're playing defensively. That may be enough."
That should be enough. Really, with our earned run average, probably if you can get a run,
that's right.
You got a great chance to win.
Matt, the games are back to back almost. What will they do today? Will they work out a little bit this morning, or will they wait and just take BP and stuff before the game? What's their itinerary for the day?
No, I think they'll go hit this morning. They usually get to the ballpark about 3 hours early after that, so they usually most of our athletic programs that we have will do something in the morning, kind of get loose with our strength staff, whether it's hitting. Wherever the case may be, and then they'll be at the ballpark about 3 hours out each day.
What's the feel at the ball? Does it feel like Red Raider country up there?
When we scored that run the other night, it was loud. It was noticeably loud, and so the cool thing just for me was you just saw so many alumni of our softball program that were in attendance, and so you had tremendous support. You had a lot of it seems like more and more Red Raiders have come to Oklahoma City. Of course, it's short distance from Lubbock and short distance from DFW area, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see more and more red and black in the stands tonight.
Matt, I just when they show and pan the crowd and everything, it seemed like there were some opposing, based on the colors of their attire they had on, there were some opposing people that stayed and watched Nige pitch, and I think she's drawing a crowd. I think.
Yes.
Oh, I would agree. I think we're definitely one of the main attractions, both from a television and just a fan perspective in this field. When we were. Because there was a rain delay in between the 2 games the other night. So they cleared the stadium. They were going to clear the stadium regardless because of in-between sessions. But you saw that first session was packed mainly because Oklahoma had the second game of the day. And, of course, with the proximity, they attract well. But you had a lot of different fan bases just walking the concourse in attendance for our game, which was cool to see. And then lot of eyeballs on the Red Raiders.
Well, it's and we put ourselves in really good position when you win that first game, because we got UCLA tonight at 6:00, right?
Correct. Yep, 6:00 ESPN.
So you got the newbie Texas Tech, who's first time ever at the College World Series, and UCLA there for the 33rd time. It's unbelievable.
But David, Texas Tech's won every game they've ever played in the World Series.
I know, that's exactly, and UCLA hasn't.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's quite a matchup, and of course I know that Kennedy is very familiar with UCLA, having been in the Pac-12 at Stanford, and of course they're familiar with her too, aren't they?
Yeah, well, and I'd say she's also familiar with Oklahoma City. This is her third trip to this tournament, and few others that have maybe played here as well, but just for her in particular, looked very comfortable in front of the spotlight. This is you have so many eyeballs. I think I forgot what I read the other day. The amount of cameras ESPN has located throughout the stadium, and they do a great job covering this event. It is one of their premier events of the year that they cover, and they do it really well. They invest in covering this tournament, and so there's a lot of eyeballs, but she's been here a few times before, so it didn't. It might be Texas Tech, but it's definitely not her first appearance, and she's handled it well.
Matt, there seems to be a scenario going that you better wait till the third out of the seventh inning, because there's been a lot of walk-offs. There's been some last top of the inning runs scored to win the game and everything, but just like our 1-0 victory, I mean, it wasn't over till it was over. I mean,
I
and
agree.
So it's the women's softball has really reached a peak of it's an exciting game to watch, and I think they're going to be able to draw in people that are just casual viewers.
Well, when you look at ratings for softball are at its highest point, and they compete with, I believe, the last several years they've ratings-wise outdrawn the Men's College World Series in Omaha, and it's an exciting game. I mean, you can get 7 innings in 2 hours. There's a big draw. It's one of my favorite sports I've covered here. I'm obviously here as a secondary role this week, but it's an exciting game. People enjoy to watch it, and ESPN, like I was saying earlier, has invested a lot of resources in promoting the sport, and so that only just helps its popularity.
So what with Nige, but what is the ESPN and the national people? What are they talking about when they talk about Tech softball?
Just, I believe, just the rise and the investment. I mean, there's no doubt that's one of the probably storylines around us. Is just the investment from Texas Tech as a whole in the sport of softball, starting with the hiring of Coach Glasgow, and then the roster he was able to put together in pretty short time last summer. I mean, that was looking back at it, fascinating to watch, and then you see the result of it. And you know what? He came in with a plan. He said from day one, hey, I expect to compete from day one. And he put together a roster that could do that. I mean, they ran away with the Big 12 title. They ran away with the Big 12 tournament title just several weeks ago here in Oklahoma City. So they've competed at the highest levels. They've played a tough schedule that will get them ready for Oklahoma City. And, I think the narrative a little bit is, hey, Texas Tech's a competitor here. And especially the way we went and played at Florida State, like, hey, you got the best pitcher in the country and a very good offense. Who's to say Texas Tech can't make a run?
And you bring up a good point, Matt. The money that we invested and that the sellers invested in softball, which we're so appreciative of that. But what I've read is just some of these long-time powerhouse programs through the years are kind of upset. They're talking about Tech buying and paying and doing all this kind of stuff. They've been doing it for years before it was even okay to do. Yeah. And now they're whining and complaining. And I'm just like, baby, we're coming. Yep. In fact, not only are we coming, we're here.
Yep.
And you got to deal with Texas Tech now. And I'm talking about it I cannot wait to see our football team.
Yep.
I'm so impressed with what they've done. Of course, that's where you're most tied in, Matt, with football. I can't. It's blown me away what has happened with Texas Tech football and recruiting.
Well, speaking of football, we're already sold out of season tickets. Get the single game tickets, because what you're saying is 100% right. This roster's, it's a good roster. There's talent. I was talking with a few people, a couple of media members the other day, and they were kind of just discussing our roster and the depth we have defensively this year. And I would say, especially in the front seven, then a revamped secondary puts you in a position to have not just a good season, but a great season. And I think that's really the goal for Coach McGuire and that staff. And we had our players, they had their first team meeting Tuesday night for the summer. They started summer workouts Wednesday. That'll go throughout June. July, they'll have some small breaks in between. And then into July, we'll start up preseason camp and get ready for an August 30th season opener. So, football will be here before you know it. I think we're all enjoying the success that softball is having. Also, Coach Kittley and the track and field program, they're at College Station at regionals this weekend. But, fascinating. We got fascinating support across the board, and Texas Tech's. I mean, I think the narrative you're going to see throughout the summer coming out, and some stories and different things you read in media is, hey, Texas Tech's highly invested. Texas Tech is a contender in every sport, and that's, I think, really what our goal is.
There's no question. And Coach McGuire, he thinks we're going to be undefeated. He kind of thinks like I do. Every year I go into the year thinking, yeah, we'll be 12-0. That's just how I know it.
And I was with Coach about a week ago. He was speaking to a group in DFW, and he said this before to a couple other groups, but everyone's always like, well, Coach McGuire is always like that. Well, yes, he is. He is always positive about his team, and his point always is, hey, how are my players supposed to believe in the things I'm telling them if I'm going out publicly, whether it's on the radio, it's in public, to donor events, and saying, we might be a bowl, just kind of trying to do a little coach speak and minimizing what he thinks. And he's like, this day and age, players see all that. They're
Absolutely.
On social media. They are very glued into what's going on around them, and so he's like, I'm going to speak highly of my team because I believe in them. And this is, I believe, it's the best roster we've had since he's been here, and just a lot of talent across the board.
Yeah, I love that about him. That doesn't bother me at all. People get upset, but it's tough to win in college football today. But he has put together the crew now to make a run, and you won't forget that just a couple of years ago, TCU played for the national championship.
That's right.
Yep. TCU played for the national championship.
Why not us?
Why not Texas Tech?
That's right.
And, one of the hardest things for Red Raider fans for me time is to begin to believe that you can actually do it. And I think you got to start believing and talking about it. And that's what Coach McGuire does. He talks about it.
If you don't think you can, you probably won't.
You probably won't. I think there's a good chance you won't. But and you mentioned Coach Kittley. He's going to be on here after you, in fact, on the phone. He's so good to be on. But, man, he just won the Big 12 men's and women's Coach of the Year and outdoor championship. Won and the indoor championship, the national championship. And now we're putting together a team, I think, Matt, that'll make a good run for the outdoor championship, men and women.
Well, first off, I do appreciate y'all having me on before Coach Kittley. It's terribly hard to follow a legend like him. I mean,
Coach Kittley tells us that about you, man.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, he's lying to you. He's got a great office in the Sports Performance Center, and we built that not long ago, and I think he's already going to run out of the room and on the trophy wall in there. Sweep the Big 12 indoors and outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, he was named Coach of the Year for both men and women, both indoor and outdoor. And then, anytime this time of year, especially in the outdoor season, we always got a chance, especially the way they have built both of these teams. It'll be interesting to see how how everything progresses over the next few weeks as they go to Eugene. But never count out that program. And they finish top 10 in the nation so regularly, you kind of take it a little bit for granted. But the level of success that they've consistently built is just impressive.
Well, get us a win tonight over UCLA.
I appreciate it. I can promise you I'll have zero to do with it. There will be plenty of people here supporting softball and rooting them on.
But thank you for calling in.
Yeah, appreciate you being on. I had Johnny Taylor on this morning on the ASCO Football Classic.
He didn't mention Matt, did he?
No, he didn't mention you.
Well, and he had much more important things. I'm glad y'all had me on with two legends, Coach Kittley and Coach Taylor had a lot to do.
Wildcat legend, Matt Dowdy.
Yep.
Yeah, Coach Taylor had a lot to do with where I am today. So
that's great.
It's great that y'all had him on earlier.
Matt, thank you, buddy. We'll see you later. Go Red Raiders.
Thank y'all.
See ya.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I did want to mention with the Owen Group, they got a new location out on 82nd Street, right by Drug Emporium, kind of that building behind off of 82nd on the south side. You'll love it. It's beautiful. And also, go to ongrp.com, ongrp.com, and you can get all the information, how many different ways they can help you with promoting your company or business, whatever it may be. That's Mac Owen. All right, we got Coach Kittley.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What are you doing, Coach?
Kittley.
Thank you for doing this. And I know, I'm so glad you do, Coach, because I try as hard as I can to keep up with what's going on and who's going where. And track and field is just hard for me. I know that we've got a bunch that have already qualified for the Nationals, and I know you got to be so proud of them.
Well, no, you got 21 events and you got 4 days of running. It's just it's a hard day every day, but. No, we did on Wednesday. We started off and we had a few finals. We had the shot put, and then Trey Wilson, our little sophomore, made it out in the shot put, and then we had the 10K with Ernest, and he made it out there also. And then we also had the pole vault with our sophomore Sean. So we got 3 of them immediately on Wednesday, and then we had to go through the men yesterday were the finals for the men. Now we have the women's day today, but we wound up, getting 11 opportunities to score at the national meet. So we got 11 things out, and always some disappointments, but we had Malachi fall down in the 10th hurdle, and that was a big blow because he was by far the best hurdler here. And but that was kind of the only thing that really went wrong yesterday was just him falling down. But he came back 10 minutes later and made the 100 in 10:04, so I was real proud of him.
Well, speaking of hurdles, you got 2 in the 400-meter hurdles.
We did, and I was really proud of them. I mean, those were personal best for them. As far as Mario Paul, he ran 49.6, and then Oscar ran 49.4. He's run faster, but man, this is just survive in this one and get out. And so we got 2 in the 400 hurdles, and then we had 2 in the 400. We went 1-2 in our heat there in the 400.
Yeah, and
that was really good with Deshaun Boyce and Shamir Uter. So, and then Ernest got out again in the 5K, and then the 4x4 ran 3:02. Our heat was the hottest heat.
Yep.
It was really unreal.
3:02, is that what you ran, Coach?
Ran 3:02, yes. There's 4 teams ran 3:02 in our heat.
Oh, my
goodness
gosh.
gracious.
That's something.
Well, Coach Kittley, you run prelims, and then you make it to the finals. Then you have to be an automatic qualifier, placing first or second or whatever. But then you can get in on some times. How nerve-wracking is that to wait and see if your time is the one that gets you to the championships?
Well, it's exactly what happened in the 400 hurdles because Mario Paul got 4th in his heat. The top 3 go automatic in each heat, and he was 4th, but he was in the fastest heat and had the fastest. They take 3 heats of 3, and that's 9, and then they take 12, so the next 3 best, and he happened to be the very best one. So, yeah, he was in the first heat, so I had to endure the second and third heats. Then they put up a red flag, so I didn't know if they were calling something on us in that heat for dragging your trail leg or whatever, but luckily it wasn't us.
Coach, shout out to Coach Felton and Oscar Rodriguez. What a story.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I mean, Oscar, Coach Falcons is a magician when it comes to the discus, and so he can just take any of those kids, and Oscar's just one of those kids that's come in here and transferred from Grand Valley State, never had gone to nationals, wound up throwing yesterday 195 feet, almost his best ever, and in tough competition, and get 5th place. So he earned himself the best flight. When we go to Eugene in 10 days, there will be 24 people, and there's 2 flights, and so he'll be in the big boy flight.
That's awesome.
I'm telling you, Coach Kittley, there is so much to keep up with in track and field, and just to stay on top of it the way you have. And we've been talking all day about Texas Tech brand, and the Curt Langford was bragging on you, and Matt Dowdy was bragging on you. We just had him on, and everybody's bragging on Texas Tech track and field and what y'all built. I'm telling you, it's just it's so impressive. Y'all are the kingpins, in my opinion. Everybody's talking about Texas Tech.
Well, it's a fun time to be here. It's my 26th year, and when I took this job, I thought it was a gold mine. And
that was just yesterday, though, Coach.
It was just yesterday. It feels like it. And so, and then it's been a special year to win 4 Big 12 championships, all the men and the women doing it together. We got a little bit banged up after the Big 12, so it's hurt us a little bit for this year nationally, but we're going to still go and I think represent really well. And just real proud of where the program's come. And my goodness, if anybody doesn't think it's a great time to be at Texas Tech right now, they're asleep.
Coach, you're going to Eugene, Oregon Nationals, which is track heaven, and that's supposed to be the best, finest facilities there are. But you're running at College Station. Isn't that a new facility and a new track?
It really is. They have a beautiful facility, unbelievable. And it's probably 30 to 50 million. I mean, it's unreal. But it's I don't like the humidity.
It's still College Station, isn't it?
Yes, and we've had storms every day, and then it's just, of course, we've been able to get through the meet, but it's just been so hot and humid. But that's part of it. And then we'll go to Eugene. It's liable to be raining and cool, so who knows what we get.
And your women are today?
The women are today. And our big events today are going to be, the triple jump, just like Big 12, the discus, and then our hurdles, too, and high jump. So that's where our girls have really done. And, of course, Shelby punched her ticket in the weight throw on Thursday. We had the finals there. But our big guns are the high jump and the triple jump as far as women, and then, of course, the discus today with Shelby. And we've got 4 in it, but I really think that we got an opportunity to get 2 out for sure.
That's absolutely awesome. I did want to mention, Coach, when you said Malachi Snow and he fell down on the 10th, that is so sad. And because this guy has his second best time in Texas Tech history, only behind Omo Osagi.
Yep.
And, is he a senior?
He's a sophomore.
Oh, my gosh. So he'll have a great chance to do things.
Yeah.
We can keep him.
It's just a shame. He ran 13:30 in a negative win in the prelims, but he'd been strained his hamstring. I didn't even run him at Big 12, and so he's been kind of gimpy since the indoors. And he, of course, All-American in the 60 and the 110 hurdles indoors.
Yeah.
So he's really a talent, but it's been a little bit of a struggle keeping him healthy. And then we got him healthy. We took care of him, and then unfortunate for him because I'm telling you, it might have been. It's definitely going to be the school record, but it might have been 12 high, 13 flat. It was a fabulous run.
And how much is a competitor of that to fall and then turn around and get in the 100 meters?
Guys fell down. He rolled about 3 times. I thought he would never get up. And then the next race is the 100. So he walks down to the other end, and he's the second heat. 12 minutes later, runs 10:04.
If that doesn't inspire the rest of your team, I don't know what would.
No, it's and I think he can run 9.9 something, and it's probably going to have to because it's unbelievable how good these kids are running now. But he's got a chance to be All-American in the 100, in 10 days. So we're going to give it our best shot.
I don't know. I know you're just focused on what's going on today, but I have heard really good things about your recruiting class that's coming in. And I don't know what you can talk about or say anything, but I just want you to know that people are talking and people across the country are saying, where are you going to school? I'm going to Texas Tech because that's where they're winning.
No, we are excited. We've signed a really good class, and we're not done. Getting close on the men, but on the women, we still got several scholarships that we're offering out. But we're trying to keep this thing rolling. And when you got both teams, it's a full-time job. I can tell you that.
Yep. And you're filling those holes. You got you some distance people, and that's amazing how you were able to put together what you need and end up with a national championship team.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but you try to mix it with the high school kids and the portal and in junior college, and it's way more important now, I think, to do that. We used to just take freshmen pretty much and develop them the whole time they're here, but this whole landscape has changed, and if you don't work the portal some, all the big time schools are going to get them all. So we got to get in there and play ball with them.
Well, all you got to do is tell them if you want to win. I know the place to go.
The big time schools, y'all. That's you, Coach. Settle down now. You are the big time.
That's true. We're right there with them.
We are. We have arrived, and we've been there for a little while now. We're so proud of you and what you're doing, and I do my best. Y'all have so many videos that come out running, and I try to watch them all so I can stay up with But you didn't know if it was a prelim or that the finals, or it's. But I know you're on top of it, and Coach Kittley's amazing. He can pretty well tell you who's going to finish at what spot.
Matt Dowdy told us, Coach, that you got a problem in your office of space for trophies.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that lately, but I got news for you guys. We do not have a problem.
You will make space. Is that right?
We will always make space.
That's never a problem. Yeah. Coach, you're doing good. Just keep up the great work. We're proud of the Red Raiders and just all the men and women, what y'all are doing. It's been so fun to watch. And keep going.
We'll try to get the ladies through today and get a bunch of people to Eugene, and so much appreciate you guys.
We're proud of you, Coach. Thanks for taking time to be with us.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right. See you, Coach. Coach Wes Kittley, y'all. He is the Coach of the Year, 11th time in the Big 12 Coach of the Year.
Just think about, people don't understand how hard this is. It's to be at that level and maintain it and keep it. That's kudos to Tech and Coach Kittley and all those kids, because I'm telling you, that's hard to do.
Proud of him.
You're just like Malaco Snow. You're one little hiccup away from not being very good.
All the time you put in.
Yeah.
My gosh, and track is a hard time to put in. I don't know. Do you watching the NBA?
A little bit. I will probably watch it when it gets to the finals. I've watched a little bit of it.
Well, the Knicks aren't going to make it. Probably it's going to be the Pacers and the Thunder, of course. Yeah. Thunder is already there. Yeah. But these are not names that when I thought the Lakers and the Celtics or the 76ers or the teams
I had to watch a little bit of Oklahoma City one night just so I know who was on the team. I knew Chet Holmgren, the big kid from Gonzaga, was on there, but and Alexander, of course, the MVP, but I didn't know any of the rest of them. And then to find out that Caruso was on there. He's a Texas A&M boy. His dad was one of the assistant ADs at A&M when I was at Tech, and we got to know each other pretty good and everything. And he's just, you talk about a worker. That's somebody has worked his way into the NBA, because he's limited on his talent.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I watch a little bit of the NBA. I like watching it. It is so good, and they're such great shooters, and how tremendous they are. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is Caitlin Clark, and I am so tired of what's going on with the WNBA and Caitlin Clark and the thuggery of women's. Why would girls want to be known as thugs?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question, and I don't want to put it all on her, because it's not, but for what she's done to bring attention to the WNBA and
the crowds.
Yeah, and the crowds and everything else. There's no, and it wouldn't make any difference if it wasn't Caitlin Clark. There's no sense in that. There's just, it doesn't do anybody any good. Your team's not going to win because you elbow somebody at midcourt on the way down the floor. There's no place for that in the game, either side, men or women.
Well, it's turning people off.
Yes, it is.
To the WNBA.
You're exactly right.
And I don't know what Larry Bird said, but he said, there was a deal on that where what Larry Bird said to Caitlin Clark has lit up the WNBA. Yeah. So I typed on that deal. Well, what did he say? Well, that wasn't in the article. That was the whole point of the deal. What did he say?
Yeah.
But you're right, Craig. It's just destroying, and she has such a positive impact for the WNBA. Yep. And maybe they're jealous. I don't know what it is.
Angel Reese. Like I said, it doesn't make any difference if it wasn't Caitlin Clark. It just,
Yeah.
There's no place for that. I mean, the women's game is a good game to watch.
It is.
Because they're pure basketball. They haven't gotten to the point where an athlete is so outstanding that they can do things different than everybody. They're all really good basketball players.
Yeah. And they run stuff.
That's right.
They run
That's
plays.
right. They do. And it's fun to watch, but not that. I don't care about watching
and
you.
Grinder's involved again,
yeah.
Brittany. Of course, she became infamous at Texas Tech with her cheap shot.
Yeah, and I was really turned off when she was doing an interview, and the referees walked by at halftime to go to the dressing room, and she turns around and cusses at them on their way out right during the middle of her interview. I mean, there's no sense in that.
Excuse me just a minute.
Yeah, excuse me, man. I got to cuss out the officials.
It's unbelievable. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not on the inside. And I understand competitiveness, and I understand getting mad and doing things, but it seems like it's, everybody's after.
Yep.
Anyway, well, we've had fun today on the show, and looking forward to Texas Tech softball tonight and Texas Tech track and field women today as they continue to do. But 6 o'clock tonight, it's going to be on ESPN 2.
Yes.
ESPN 2.
No, ESPN.
Just the regular ESPN. The other game today, which is earlier, is on ABC.
Right. And I think we're on ESPN.
We are on ESPN. I couldn't remember which one it was. So that'll be fun as we play UCLA, one of the, I guess you'd say, a legendary program.
They've been there a long time.
Yep. So that game will be on ESPN. The other game is Texas and Oklahoma at 2 o'clock on ABC.
You don't think that won't be a shootout?
That'll be fun.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.